Willie D Live.
Some very, very serious news out of Atlanta. We got a college football player from Georgia who was found dead in a house fire. Yeah, fam. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely tragic. This happened in suburban Atlanta. Isaiah Taylor, an offensive lineman for Georgia Military College, was staying at his grandfather's house in Stone Mountain when the home erupted into flames around 1 p.m. Taylor's grandfather, Gregory Edwards, said that he was not at home when he was notified about the blaze. He said, "Well, I got a call from my neighbor, said that there was smoke coming out the home, and I immediately left work and headed to the house." According to WXIA TV, flames had already engulfed the residence by the time first responders arrived, and Taylor, 21, was pronounced dead at the scene. There was no hesitation in going in and searching for the victim, DeKalb County Fire Captain Jason Daniels said. "We got here and we were able to establish a water supply. And again, receiving that information from one of the nearby residents stating that there was some water inside, we actually went right in and performed a search and luckily found him pretty quick. But unfortunately, he was deceased once we found him." Taylor transferred to the junior college located in Milledgeville ahead of the past season after playing for Liberty University in 2004. Georgia Military College is deeply saddened by the loss of one of our students, Isaiah Taylor, the college said in a statement on Tuesday. "Our hearts are with Isaiah's family, friends, classmates, and all those who knew and loved him. Investigators are still determining the cause of the fire." Edwards got emotional when he talked about his grandson, calling him a gentle giant. "He was one of the kindest person you would ever have known. He wasn't a bully," Edwards said. "He was a good boy. He didn't deserve this." What can I say? I mean, that's not an easy pill to swallow, you know? You don't bury your grandchildren, he added. And absolutely, I can relate to that. You're not supposed to bury your grandchildren, right? Relating to it in the sense that I've seen people go through that where they've had to bury their grandchildren. And that's horrible. 21 years old, the grandfather said he didn't deserve that, almost as if to say that, insinuating that maybe that was some foul play. I don't know. Or maybe he's just saying he just didn't deserve to die, period. But a 21-year-old in perfectly good shape, dying in a house fire, something ain't adding up to me, fam. It wasn't like it was an explosion, right? Just a house fire. I think there's more to this story. I think there's absolutely more to this story. Here is a picture. I thought I had it ready already, but obviously not. So let me pull it up really quickly. Where is it? I know I pulled it out. There it is. There's a picture of the house. And I'm assuming that's his grandfather. I will say this: 'tis the season to be very careful with area heaters and stoves and things of that nature, things that people use to warm their homes. My godfather died in a house fire. He and his wife. He actually died trying to save her life. So she was for the most part bedridden, right? And the fire department attributed the fire to the area, what do you call that thing? The area heater, right? The area heater that was inside of her bedroom. In fact, they had many area heaters. That was one in, here's an old house, right? Old house. This happened back in the 80s. So, but this house was really old even then. So the house probably was at least 50 years old back then. So they didn't have central heat. They had area heaters in every room. And there were a few times, them things used to get really, really hot. And there was a few times where actually I came close to, having, accidentally set a fire in there, just, getting too close to it or getting burned. So y'all be careful, man, with those area heaters. And I'm not saying this is the case. I doubt if this is an area heater that started this fire, because that looks like a pretty modern house. But in any event, these type of things happen oftentimes in winter months. And we're right there on the cusp of winter, I guess. We're still in, I think we're still officially in the fall. Let me look at that. Okay, yeah, we're right on the cusp of winter. Winter officially starts tomorrow, December 21st, 2025, through March 20th, 2026, in the Northern Hemisphere. That's when winter happens. So yeah, this is sad. 21-year-old guy who had his whole life in front of him ends up dead in a house fire. I still don't, I still believe there was some foul play here. You're talking about a guy who is in good health. He's mobile. He's got his faculties. A young dude dying in a house fire. You hardly ever hear something like that happening, right? So this sounds really suspicious to me, and I do believe that there'll probably a lot of new information will be forthcoming. But in the meantime, in the between time, it's important to extend condolences to his family, his friends, his fans, the schools that he attended, and the teammates that he played with. R.I.P. Isaiah Taylor.